from a naval commander. What should we see in terms of what we should see?
Well, I think what should happen is that some of our ships should be brought to higher readiness earlier. That's the first thing. We should have actually put in place some ships in the Eastern Mediterranean available, and we should have very rapidly sorted out with our allies how we were going to defend them and our British citizens in the Gulf. And of course, you can't fly aircraft 24 hours a day, so what you need is a ship there. Part of the problem is, though, that a lot of our warships at the moment are at a very low state of readiness. We're looking at HMS Dragon at the moment. That's one of 2 Type 45s that are capable of actually going to sea at the moment. They weren't at high readiness, and I'm afraid to say the Royal Navy is in a gap where they're getting rid of some of their older hulls, and they haven't brought their newer hulls into service. It's a long-term planning problem that can't be blamed on the current government. That needs to be blamed on the previous government as well. But also, I think a prudent mariner, a prudent strategist would have said, look, we've got a crisis brewing in the Middle East. Can we actually put resources in to make sure that we're ready for it?
What do you think this says about how prepared the Royal Navy are today then?
Well, the Royal Navy, I think the answer is, what is the question? If the question is to deter our opponents and also provide security for Britain, its interests and our citizens, we've got a long way to go. I'll give you an example. I was in a ship, HMS Antrim, on the day that the Argentinians invaded the Falklands. And we were 98% stocked and ready for war. We were at 1 day's notice. And alongside us, off Gibraltar, were 11 other ships that were at a similar state of readiness. And within 8 hours, we had stocked to 104%, and we were sailing south very rapidly. We need to get back to that sort of readiness profile, and we need to have a thing called a fleet contingency ship. All the way through the Cold War and afterwards, we had a thing called the fleet contingency ship, which was ready at instant notice to go and do something on behalf of the country or its citizens.
I'm just putting the speed of the deployment to one side. How significant was it to see HMS Dragon deployed?
Well, to my mind, I'm afraid it's tokenism. Our allies, of course, have stepped into the breach. We've got Dutch and Italian ships on the way. We've got French ships going there, including a French carrier, the Charles de Gaulle, just reinforcing what is already there. It's not great for a country to have other countries sort of covering for its own sovereign base areas, to tell you the truth. But here's the thing. What we should be doing is saying, look, that's covered now. The Americans are tied up in the Gulf region at the moment. They're committing a lot of themselves. What can we do to help out around other parts of the world where there are attention? And I'm glad to say that the government has said they're going to sail Prince of Wales carrier out to the Eastern Mediterranean, now said it's going to commit to the high north to deter aggression and exert presence in relation to Russia. So that's a good thing to do. So I think that will settle down now. But Dragon, when it gets there, obviously will look for a role, I think, in providing anti-missile and anti-aircraft defence if that's required in the Eastern Mediterranean. More importantly, I think it should probably go through the Suez Canal and provide some sort of presence and capability, not only in the Gulf, but also around the Red Sea, because we've got to remember that the Iranians will probably call in not just Hezbollah, but also the Houthis in the Red Sea. Everybody seems to have forgot about the Houthis. If they enter the fray, it's going to complicate the problem as well.
And just to wrap, do you think this speaks to needing more investment in the military?
Oh, there's no question we need that. We're in a more dangerous world now. During the Cold War, we spent 5.2% of our GDP on defence, and we're in a much more volatile, dangerous world right now. Until that settles down, we have to have credible defences. If we don't have credible defences, other autocratic powers will take their chance. You tend to get wars when there are, for instance, of windows of vulnerability on one side and windows of opportunity on the other, and we're in exactly that situation at the moment.
Okay, we'll have to leave there. Really good to speak to you today. We're Admiral Dr. Chris Howard. Thank you. And let's take a look at that.
have you?
Well, the forecast looks good.
So you've sorted travel insurance then? All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors Sky News Weather.
Well, the next few days will bring strong winds, showers and longer spells of rain, and it will turn colder. Today, expect near average temperatures, but it will be windy with critical gales in the far north. England and Wales look mainly dry and sunny all afternoon, with only 1 or 2 showers if possible in the south and northwest. Elsewhere, heavy blustery showers will be more widespread for a time, wintry on the northern hills, and bringing a risk of thundery downpours. Islands, Northern Ireland and southern Scotland will see the showers largely fading later, whereas northwestern Scotland can expect more prolonged rain.
All Clear Travel Insurance proudly sponsors Sky News Weather.
You're watching Sky News coming up at the top of the hour. Fresh reports of cargo vessels coming under fire in the Straits of Hormuz after the US attacked mine vessels. Stay with us.
Petrol Fun is here with special introductory prices. Better double power recliner now $7.99. The smooth elegance of the Zini now just $5.99. And the prestigious Villa double power recliner with built-in reading light and cup holder $1799. Plus up to 5 years interest-free credit on many sofas. Welcome to Petrol Fun. Quality sofa, and SES from March 12th.
Poor pet. Just shows you never.
Imagine needing a tradesperson. And suddenly, reviews appear. Here's a check. With My Builder, it's real, and you can choose to connect with the tradesperson you want. That's why we're trusted by homeowners. My Builder, a reliable way to hire a tradesperson.
Hey, Sainsbury's. They were bigger than my budget. Any help?
Well, colleagues like Charlotte here always match.
I've been speaking to analysts who said to me, we could probably cope with a couple of